Have you ever stopped for a moment and noticed how opening up more and more to your family can sometimes make life feel increasingly complicated and intertwined? You begin with the purest intentions, wanting to be truthful, to stay connected, to nurture those close bonds. Yet somehow, the more you reveal, the less tranquility you seem to discover in your days. This is a lesson that so many of us come to understand through experience, especially once we cross that gentle threshold of 65. And please know, it's not that our families lack love for us. Love is simply a beautiful yet intricate thing, woven together with layers of expectations, personal opinions, deep emotions, and unspoken hopes. When we lay everything out on the table without careful thought, it can unintentionally invite responses and reactions we never saw coming. I once held the strong belief that being completely open and honest with my loved ones was the surest path to maintaining closeness and trust. I truly felt that sharing every detail would demonstrate how much faith I placed in them. But as the years gently passed, a quiet yet profound realization settled in my heart. Not every truth requires a voice. This isn't about hiding anything out of shame or fear. It's about wisely safeguarding the peace we have rightfully earned after decades of living, giving, and growing. In this video, I want to sit with you like old friends, not lecture from a distance, but simply share from the heart 5 important things I've learned are often better kept quietly to yourself after the age of 65, not to live in secrecy, but to live with greater wisdom and serenity. If you've ever walked away from a conversation feeling emotionally drained after sharing too openly, or secretly wished you had held back a few words, then I believe this message will resonate deeply with you. And if you're joining our community for the first time, a warm welcome to you. Together, we're creating a supportive, kind, and thoughtful space for seniors who desire to embrace these precious later years with dignity, inner calm, and quiet strength. Let's ease into this together. The first important matter is one that carries real weight: your precise financial situation. We've all grown up hearing how important transparency with family should be. We want to prevent any unpleasant surprises later on, and we believe that revealing our savings, how we've arranged our affairs, and our intentions for the future will shield everyone from confusion or hardship. That was certainly my own way of thinking for many years. Yet life gently taught me a deeper truth that few people discuss openly. The moment that financial curtain is fully drawn back, the family dynamics can begin to change, sometimes in small, unnoticed ways, and other times quite noticeably. Let me share the story of Martin, a kind 81-year-old retired engineer I came to know. He had spent his entire working life being careful with money, budgeting thoughtfully, and making modest investments. A soft-spoken gentleman with a brilliant mind and the warmest heart, Martin decided a few years back that full honesty would bring everyone peace of mind. So he gathered his 2 grown sons, sat them down, and revealed everything: bank balances, pension details, property deeds, and even his carefully prepared plans for dividing the estate. He even brought out clear spreadsheets to demonstrate how responsibly he had managed things over the decades. He anticipated feelings of relief and perhaps some gratitude. Instead, the questions began pouring in. "Dad, why are you still in such a large home? Wouldn't it be smarter to sell and move somewhere smaller or into assisted living while you're still healthy?" One son offered to move in temporarily to help manage things, all framed with genuine concern and love. At first, it felt caring, but gradually, Martin began to sense that his independence was quietly slipping away. Every spending choice suddenly seemed open for discussion and gentle judgment. Planning a short vacation? Are you sure flying is? Wise at your age? Buying a comfortable new chair? That seems a bit costly, Dad. Even everyday purchases like new shoes drew comments. What pained him most wasn't a lack of care from his sons. It was how loudly and constantly that care was expressed, making him feel as though he was no longer fully in control of his own life. The deeper reality is that once that door to complete financial openness swings wide, closing it again becomes incredibly difficult. Even the most loving family members can unintentionally cross boundaries. In some cases, relatives who rarely reached out before suddenly develop a strong interest, not necessarily in you, but in the resources you hold. That cousin who seldom called now wants regular visits. That grandchild who forgot birthdays suddenly shows curiosity about your will. I'm certainly not suggesting you avoid proper planning. Quite the opposite. Having a clear will, a durable power of attorney, and a trusted person ready to help if needed is responsible and wise. But revealing the full detailed picture too soon, before it's truly necessary, can create unnecessary pressure and shift how others view your autonomy. Privacy in this season of life is not the same as secrecy. It is a form of gentle self-protection. You don't owe anyone a full accounting of your bank statements. You needn't explain why you chose to buy something meaningful to you or supported a cause close to your heart. Those resources represent decades of your hard work, sacrifices, and careful decisions that others may never fully understand. The person best qualified to guide how they are used remains you. By protecting this area thoughtfully, you preserve your peace and continue making decisions from a place of freedom rather than external expectation. Now, let's gently turn to another area that often feels so natural to share: details about our health. Our bodies have carried us through many years, and they're not quite as resilient as they once were. Joints may ache a little more, sleep can be elusive some nights, and there are days when we simply don't feel our usual selves. It's a normal part of aging, and because we love our families, it feels only right to mention these things, believing they genuinely care and want to know. Often they do care deeply, yet we rarely pause to consider how that information lands on the other side and begins to shape their perceptions. When we casually mention that our back has been troubling us again, or that we felt a bit dizzy one morning, it may seem like simple conversation to us, but to our children and grandchildren, those words can carry significant emotional weight. Because they love you, their protective instincts may rise quickly. What feels like a minor, passing discomfort to you can register as a serious warning sign to them. Let me tell you about Claire, a vibrant 76-year-old widow who remains wonderfully independent. She enjoys gardening, volunteers happily at the library, and takes daily walks with her beloved little terrier. One day, after some enthusiastic yard work, she simply mentioned to her daughter that her shoulders felt a bit sore. Nothing dramatic, just a passing comment. Her daughter's response was immediate concern. She quickly arranged physical therapy, began calling multiple times each day to check in, and even suggested hiring help for household tasks. Claire felt touched by the love, yet also a little overwhelmed, as though she had suddenly been labeled fragile. Over the following weeks, comments like, "Are you sure you should lift that?" or "Maybe you shouldn't drive after dark anymore," became more common. Slowly, this strong, capable woman began feeling like a child again in her own life, all stemming from one innocent remark about sore shoulders. This illustrates the subtle risk of sharing too many small, non-urgent health details. You're not doing anything wrong, but you may unintentionally encourage your family to see you as someone who needs constant protection or management, rather than the strong, independent person you still are. That shift in perception can be surprisingly difficult to reverse. Of course, if something serious arises, a meaningful diagnosis or condition that truly impacts daily life, sharing with loved ones is important and right. They deserve to know when real support is needed. But not every minor ache, stiff joint, or restless night needs to be shared broadly. Consider how constantly discussing these Small matters can shape the story others tell about your life. You may feel mostly energetic and engaged, yet others might begin viewing you as declining more rapidly than you actually are. This can lead to well-meaning but limiting actions, more hovering, fewer opportunities offered, or decisions made on your behalf. You've lived in this body long enough to discern what truly matters and what is simply part of the natural aging process. Trust your own wisdom. Protect your emotional space. You are so much more than your occasional discomforts. You are filled with accumulated wisdom, daily joys, meaningful routines, and quiet victories. Let those brighter elements define how your family sees you. The third area where silence often serves us better is stepping into family conflicts. By this stage, we've witnessed countless disagreements, siblings drifting apart, arguments over money, misunderstandings with in-laws, and old resentments resurfacing. As elders, we naturally feel pulled to offer guidance, mediate, or smooth things over. Yet experience shows that the more we insert ourselves verbally, the greater the chance of unintended consequences. In family matters especially, thoughtful. Silence is not weakness. It is mature wisdom earned through years of observation. Take my friend Miriam, an 80-year-old woman known for her sharp mind and gentle nature. During a visit, she softly suggested to her daughter that her young grandson might start picking up his toys. A simple, light observation offered with love. Her daughter reacted with quiet withdrawal. Phone calls became less frequent. Invitations grew sparse, and a distance formed that never fully mended. Miriam had meant only to help, yet one sentence created lasting ripples. This highlights how even kindly expressed opinions can be received through others' emotional filters as criticism or interference. Trying to help settle a disagreement between adult children can result in both sides feeling you favor one over the other. Expressing concern about parenting styles or financial habits can cause withdrawal. Once spoken, your words often become linked to the conflict itself rather than any resolution. The wisest path is often to step back gracefully. You can say, "I trust you both to work through this," or "I'm here if you need support, but I won't take sides." Then release it with love. Allow your family members to grow through their own experiences, just as you once did. Protecting your emotional energy this way keeps you as the calm, steady presence they can turn to without resentment. The fourth gentle secret involves our private regrets. At this beautiful yet reflective stage, most of us carry a few what ifs and if onlys. These are natural parts of a fully lived life. Sometimes these thoughts surface during conversations with children or grandchildren. But I've learned that not every regret benefits from being voiced aloud, especially to those we cherish most. My friend Norma, a dedicated 79-year-old retired teacher who raised 4 children while caring for her ailing husband, once shared, during a walk with her youngest daughter, that she sometimes wished she had pursued travel dreams earlier in life. It was a quiet, honest reflection, not meant to wound. Yet her daughter heard it as an unintended message that her mother's sacrifices for the family had been burdensome. What we see as personal reflection can sometimes feel like quiet rejection. To the next generation, they may wonder if they or the family life they represent held you back. Instead of dwelling on past wishes, try framing your story with warmth. "I've gained so much wisdom from the path I walked." This honors your journey without placing emotional weight on loved ones. Your reflections are valid and sacred, but keeping some of them private preserves harmony and lets you focus on the present blessings. Finally, the fifth area is sharing detailed plans for your assets and estate. While having clear legal documents is essential, revealing the specific divisions, who receives what, and exact intentions too early can stir unexpected emotions. My acquaintance Edna, an 83-year-old retired nurse who planned thoughtfully, shared her plans with her 3 children hoping for clarity. Instead, It sparked subtle competition, questions about fairness, and shifts in how they viewed her daily choices. Suddenly, her spending and lifestyle came under gentle scrutiny. True peace comes from living freely in your remaining years without negotiating your legacy while you're still here. Your real legacy lives in the love you've given, the values you've modeled, and the quiet strength you continue to show. Protect that freedom wisely. As we close this time together, remember that you have spent a lifetime giving so generously. Now is the season to also guard your inner peace with care. Peace is not selfish. It is necessary for a dignified, joyful later life. By thoughtfully choosing what to hold close, you honor both yourself and your family. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear in the comments. What is one thing you're choosing to keep more private moving forward? Your words may light the way for someone else. If you're not already part of our community, please subscribe and join us. We're here supporting one another and building lives of calm strength and quiet dignity. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Until we connect again, care tenderly for your heart, protect your peace, and always remember, you have truly earned every bit of it.